to see. Recording. All right, so thank you so much everyone for joining. I'm so excited today because we get to hear from one of the phenomenal ladies that I've met. We recently met actually and connected, and we have had different conversations just talking about, you know, women empowerment and really like this year's topic or theme around, you know, International Women's Day. And just hearing her story, she's such a dynamic leader. And I was so fired up when I heard your story and how you have really dynamically changed your careers and really like transformed yourself. You're such a versatile person, and I admire you so much that you can throw yourself into the deep end and be able to bounce back and be able to put yourself together again. And you know, that is a strength that we need as women, because I think sometimes we need to know that our situations and our careers would have to transform and take, you know, different shapes and forms at a certain point. And we really need to allow ourselves to be that versatile if things have to work. I love talking to women like you, leaders like you, because I know that when it comes to financial inclusion or economic empowerment, one of the ways that we can really be empowered economically or financially as women is to grow our career and to work on our career. And so that's exactly the reason we are, other than that, we want to hear what you are doing in your space to empower women, but we also want to hear your story, because I think your story is an inspiration. Because as a woman, not all of us are going to end up in businesses, but maybe some of us will achieve or attain that, you know, financial economic empowerment through our careers. And so what should we be doing? We want to ask you very personal questions to say, girl, what did you study? What have you been up to? Which school did you go to? What other courses did you do? Which books do you read? What else are you doing? How are you connecting with other people and to build your network, you know, to build a strong foundation in your career? So welcome, welcome, welcome. I don't have to introduce you. I will let you introduce yourself to our audience today. And so go for it.
Thank you so much, Toko, for this time that I'm able to talk about myself as well as the work that I'm doing. This is Tendai Mayani Kaunda. I'm a nurse. This is a nurse who has gone through a lot of, I can say that modification. I modified myself from the hospital setting. Now I'm in an office working as a program director. I graduated from KCN with a diploma in nursing some time back, and I joined Mzuzu University, where I did health sciences education. My job was, after I did my health sciences education, I was supposed to be teaching in nursing schools, but later on, I didn't join the government, or I didn't join the school sector. I joined the NGO. Since 2002, I've been working in an NGO setting. I've never worked in the government. Later on, in the first job that I got after my degree, it was I was an HIV/AIDS coordinator, and it was more of my nursing profession. But later on, you know, in 2002, 2003, 2004, it was a time when we were at a peak with HIV/AIDS, and it was a time when most of the organizations, NGOs, were mainstreaming HIV. That's when I landed myself in an organization, a food security organization, in 2004. Where my work was to be more on gender, as well as HIV mainstreaming. The organization was distributing livestock as well as crops as seeds to farmers. And myself, in fact, I was the only lady that was at that organization at that time, because, you know, most of the people who are in the agriculture sector, they are men. And I had to join that organization and start now working with men. It was the first time for that organization also to have a health professional person. And it was like there was no budget for HIV mainstreaming. There was no budget for gender. It was me who was supposed to be now thinking about what are the activities that I was going to do in order to ensure that we reach out to women, we reach out to the people who are vulnerable. So from 2004 to 2017, I've been in that space, getting promotions from the HIV/AIDS officer, then to the coordinator, when I was leaving the organization, I was now the technical advisor, and they had to change now my portfolio from the gender and HIV/AIDS personnel to gender and nutrition. What I was really doing was to ensure that whenever we are targeting clients or beneficiaries, women are there, and also all those that are vulnerable, they are also benefiting from whatever the agricultural people we are providing to the people, to the communities. So I would ensure that every technology that the agriculture experts are introducing, I would analyze which one is best fitted to the women. Even the crops themselves, which crops are best fitted to the women. If they're providing cows, if they're providing goats, if they're providing maybe birds like chickens, which ones are best suited to women as well as people who are vulnerable. So that was my work up to 2017. And I remember there was a time when they were introducing a project which we were calling PlantWise. It was about plant doctors. And all the agriculture experts, they said, no, we don't want this project because it was so cumbersome. It was new even to the agriculture personnel. So I said, okay, can you bring it to me? I would see how best I can link up or I can ably implement this project. And I ended up going to Kenya, and all the people were saying, how did you manage? Because I came up with a paper where I was saying, okay, how are women accessing plant-wise clinics? We were establishing plant-wise clinics into the facilities, in markets. So my job was, I was analyzing how many women are attending to that plant-wise clinics. And I would go into the field, I would be telling women, this is how we do the agriculture, whenever they are planting seeds, planting groundnuts, maize. It was me going there and ensuring that women are doing the right things. And people never knew that I was a health professional. Then later on, I had to go for masters, which I did whilst I was working. And I remember the time I was doing my masters, it was the time when there was retrenchment in our office. And I was the only person in that project, especially in Balaka. I was the project manager, I was the coordinator, I was the driver. I was even the finance person who was doing everything. So, but the managers had all the confidence in me that I was going to be able to do it. And adding with masters and the mother role at home, the church roles, it was not easy. But I was able to do masters in strategic management, which was being provided by University of Derby, which is now that was Malawi Institute of Malawi Management that time. Then later on, after some time, I thought, no, I have to go back to my health profession. That's now I'm in Mothers to Mothers since 2017. Now in Mothers to Mothers, the reason why I joined Mothers to Mothers is an organization which is working with peer mentors who are living with HIV. So these women, mostly they have got all levels. They that's the women who we employ. Most of the organizations, whenever they employ these women in that caliber, they call them expert clients, of which they are volunteers. But now for Mothers to Mothers, we are employing them. They are on contract. They are at the end of it, if the contract has ended, they receive pension. If they die, we provide a coffin. If their husband dies, all the benefits that are for me, these mentor mothers also, it's also for them. So as Mothers to Mothers, we are trying to ensure that these women are empowered economically. Much as, Mothers to Mothers has lost funding, like Malawi twice, we were about to get funding somewhere, but they said our model is expensive. Because most of the model, this type of model, they don't pay them salary. They are not on contracts. They are on stipends, of which Mothers to Mothers, we put our foot down and we said, no, they have to be paid. Because from 7:30 to 4:30, they're supposed to be with us. They have to give health talks to their fellow women or even men, even in household. As I've already said, that we employ women who are HIV positive, and we employ them just because we feel like they have already gone that journey. They can ably provide that support to women also who are diagnosed with HIV, especially when they are pregnant, as well as when they are breastfeeding. The peer mentors that we have, they are both over 25 years or between 18 to 24 years. We call them adolescent peer mentors and adult peer mentors. The idea is to ensure that they provide this information to the beneficiaries, so that these beneficiaries, they can ably also handle the situation of being HIV positive to the end. The reason is we really want the baby to be born HIV negative. But the peer mentors also, they provide information on early childhood development. They also provide information on nutrition. Now we are also into cervical cancer screening as well as breast cancer screening, apart from the immunizations, which we are also encouraging the children, the under fives, to have whenever they are due with this COVID as well. HPV, in fact, we're into HPV creation of demand. So all this is what we are doing as mothers to mothers. And we have seen benefits of having these mentor mothers being employed. One, the financial security. They are secured because they know that at the end of it all, we are going to be paid. But also, they provide the information with all their heart, just to ensure that the women whom they are reaching out to, they are also empowered with information. You know, information, it's also money. It's like you are empowering them economically. Once somebody has got information on health, you know, you reduce the frequencies of going to the hospital because you are able to prevent the infections. Such that having our mentor mothers that are being paid, providing that information, has also assisted our mentor mothers to be able to apply or to provide that information the whole day without complaining, because they know that at the end of it all, their children are going to have food. Even the pension which we provide, you know, each one of us as women, we are growing up, and at the end of it all, we say, oh, what will happen after maybe I'm old? But this pension, it also gives them a relief to say, okay, at least I'm secured. After this job, I'll be able to take care of myself. Most of the contracts that these women have, they are yearly contracts, but be assured that we have been working with the other women since 2008. In fact, in Malawi, we started Mothers to Mothers in 2008. Others have been with us since 2017. So mostly, if they are performers, we take them through up to the time when maybe funding, we don't have funding. But ever since that time, we have had funding, and some of the mentor mothers, we have had them for some time. And one of the things also that we have seen, because of employing these women who are HIV positive, but also we give them salary, as I've already talked about PMTC, prevention of mother-to-child transmission. Last year, we had about 23,000 children who were HIV exposed, but out of the 23,000 women who were HIV exposed, only 0.4% of the children were found HIV positive. Why? Our peer mentors, they have got that financial security. We provide them with money so that they should be able to take care of themselves. They should be able also to develop themselves, to build. In fact, it's not much, but at least we know they are secured. They have that financial security psychologically. I think let me stop there. I wait for questions from the team. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tendai. That is really, really awesome. I am recognizing some nurses and health professionals on the team. And so I think that's such an inspiration that, you know, you can change yourself into anything that you want. And really, that was so courageous of you that you could leave your bedside nursing profession to join the agricultural sector. I think that is something that requires a lot of strength and a lot of courage to just, you know, navigate the deeper waters of it, you know, changing your profession and everything that you've known, everything that you've been taught, and to really change that mindset to say, I can do this. So I really admire you for that. I have a question for you before we can open up to the team, that when you joined the agricultural sector into that other organizations that you mentioned, you said that you were the only female there. How did that feel like? And what are the challenges that you faced being the only female in that like male dominated field? And how did that feel like? And what are the challenges? And how did you navigate those challenges?
Okay, thank you so much, Togo. Yeah, it was really challenging. As I've already said, that I was the only female, and you know, you are coming maybe after the project has already started, they are busy doing their food security issues, like providing the seeds. Now you're coming and saying, okay, let's do HIV mainstreaming. Let's do the budgeting. How best should we do it so that the people whom you have targeted, maybe 100, they should be, and you have already found that they have targeted 100 people. And out of those 100 people, maybe only 10, they are women. So trying now to ensure that women also should benefit, it was not easy. But knowing who you are and also knowing what your job description, if you doing something which is not out of your passion and doing something which is out of your passion, there is a difference. I have that passion for women. I had to ensure that this thing has to happen. I know there are these guidelines there that talk about gender mainstreaming, but sometimes these policies can be there. But if you don't have that passion, you just let it go. But it's just a matter of trying. Today you try, you talk to the men. Medicine church is not also easy. It's difficult. You just have to ensure you take them through why you really want these women to benefit from whatever they are doing. Little by little, these people would be at your side. They would understand. You tell them, your sisters are also in the villages. Maybe there is also an organization that is doing the same, and your sisters have been left out just because they are women. How do you feel? So, those things, the trainings that we have, we're having, capacity building, which are people maybe we are just referring them, the agriculture expertise to ensure that they really understand about gender. They really understood, but it was not easy. That much I should not lie, because they felt like there's somebody who has just come to disturb them. What is gender? What is HIV mainstreaming? It was not easy, but the confidence, as well as knowing who you are and what you achieve. Whenever you're joining an organization, you should have a goal. I had a goal that this thing is going to happen. And later on, it was adapted in the organization. Up to now, they are doing that. And I feel, and whenever I'm saying I was the first person to introduce this, I feel proud of myself because I really achieved my goals. Thank you.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. What I'm getting from there is that you need to have confidence in the things that you're doing, but also you need to have goals because sometimes we want something and we desire, to be at a certain level, but maybe we don't have clear goals on how we're what we want to achieve. So I think that's one of the things that I'm hearing from you. I want to open up to to our participants here and see if anyone has a question for Ms. Tendai. You can just unmute and speak, or you can send a message in the chat.
Hello, I'm Yvonne Sundoza. That's a very fascinating story. However, I just want to ask or get some clarifications and the words of encouragement from you. I think most of us want to do something different, but what really holds us is we're afraid, what if we fail in that area? So what is it that really motivated you to go in an agricultural field, we can say, and you still went ahead and do it, and according to your presentation, I think it was successful. What really motivated you? What can you tell a lady out there who's afraid to move on or to try other new things? Thank you.
Can I respond?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. That question, I think for me, what I would say is, the sky is the limit. Whenever you want to do something, don't be afraid to fail. There is a saying that whenever you fail, it means if you haven't failed in life, it means you haven't started. For you to fail, it means you have to try. So you just have to try and see whether you're going to fail. Because most of the times, whenever you're starting something, you say, what if I fail? Okay, let's put it in another way. What if I do well, if I succeed? So you just have to have those both questions. What if I fail? Okay, what if I succeed? But also the other thing that I've seen, for somebody to go into another field, which is not your field, it's the exposure. Who do you link up with? Who do you need to work with? I remember the time when I joined that organization, which was the Food Security Organization, there was a lot of things that I had to learn. There were a lot of things that I had to read. I didn't even know what mainstreaming was. For your own information, because when the vacancy, the advert came out, and one of the questions which was on the advert was, okay, you know, they specify the things that the person has to have, like the skills, whatever. So there was something like mainstreaming. And I remember when I was going to the interviews, I said, what if they are going to ask me about mainstreaming? You know, I reached the interview. I was interviewed even that question, but I didn't have a response. I knew that this question is going to come, but I don't know why. And it was not the time of, internet. That time, internet was not there for me to Google, like, what is mainstreaming? I went into that interview without knowing even what the mainstreaming is. And I remember when the panel was asking me about mainstreaming and other questions concerning mainstreaming, I really wanted to cry. For your own information, the time I was going for that interview, I was supposed to attend 2 interviews the same day. One interview was in Lilongwe at 8 o'clock. It was 9 o'clock. One interview was at 11 o'clock in Blantyre. The other one was specific nursing. It was an NGO, but it was more of nursing. The other interview was more of agriculture. But I said I wanted to go to this one, which I don't know much, because for the nursing, I knew that I'm going to pass the interviews as far as I was concerned. But I said, no, I want to try something different. So I went for that one. And when I was coming out of the interviews, I really wanted to cry. You're coming out of the interviews and the other panel is calling you from Lilongwe, and the other interview was in Blantyre. They were calling you, we are waiting for you. Are you coming? I said, what mistake have I done? I really know that I haven't done well in this interview. It would have been better if I had gone to this Lilongwe one. So I just told them, I'll come back to you later. It was on Wednesday, I remember. Then I called them, can I come on Friday? They also told me, we'll give you feedback later. But fortunately, after 2 weeks, I was picked to this organization, which I was afraid of. So trying is better, it's good. If you fail, you have failed, you have learned, you will do better next time. Thank you.
Awesome. One of the principles that I live by is that there's nothing like failure in this life. Nothing like failure. Only lessons learned. We brand things a failure just out of the feelings and the emotions that come out of that. But really, if you look at it, you learn something out of everything that you do. And so it's very important to tell yourself to say, I'll not fail, I'll learn. I think when we change our mindset and tweak it that way, it's going to be good for us. We can try everything. So thank you so much for that. There is a question in the chat box and from Goli Konje. Goli says, I'm currently a student at Luana and I'm pursuing a master's degree, and I'm interested in pursuing a research interest in gender pay gaps. Did you at any point struggle with gender pay gap?
Thank you so much. Such an interesting question. Gender pay gaps. I think I really understand what you want to say, but if I am not going to respond it well, please come out so that maybe I can respond well. I remember when I was I think it was in 1999 when I had just joined a certain organization. I'm not going to mention that organization. I joined as a nurse with a diploma, and my friend joined that organization with a diploma in clinical medicine. So, the administrator called us and they said, you know what? Both of us, we are supposed to pay you the same salary. But because you are a woman and, you've got a husband, we feel like we should pay you this much. And the man was paid a little bit higher than me. And they explained to us, it was not that they were hiding anything, it was a Christian organization. So, but at that time, I didn't have any problem with it. But later on now, when I sit down, I say, that was injustice to me, How can they say both of you have got almost the same qualifications, and according to us, we're supposed to be receiving the same, but because you're a woman and you're a man, and those times gender issues, or maybe this topic was not much being discussed in the newspapers or in the social media. But if it had happened now, I think it could have been another story. But for us as mothers to mothers, what we do, as I've already talked about, our mentor mothers that are being paid, We also sometimes, but it was once when we had expert clients who were men, all of them, they were just being paid according to their qualifications. So we don't separate that this is a woman, this is a man, so we have to pay them differently. But I've experienced that at some point, that gender pay gap. Thank you.
I can't believe that happened to you, because I'm like, what? And the fact that these people did not hide it from you, it means that it was normal for them. But I know that in the recent years, policies have changed and the landscape has really changed when it comes to the pay gap. There is still challenges because I know in the other challenge, really what happens is in the different sectors is that salary becomes a very, secret subject, whereby people don't really discuss openly about salaries, and really people don't disclose. I remember my personal experience here in Canada. It so happened that myself having the same qualification with another male colleague who was white, and for some reason, somehow I got access to our payroll, and I realized that there is significant gaps between us, but we both have say similar qualifications. We almost actually he was a junior to me in terms of like the year that he graduated. I had more experience than he did, and that didn't sit well with me, and I spoke up, and things changed. But those are the things that if you don't know, you never know that your colleague next to you to your desk is being paid more than you are, because there is a lot of secrecy around salaries and wages. Is there another question? Okay, Ms. Tendai, I want to ask you, what really made you to come back to nursing or to a health-related field?
Okay, thank you so much. To say that I had a challenge in the agriculture sector, I would lie. But I was just like, I did this health profession. I'm a nurse, and I'm just doing the agriculture things which are, I think I've never gone into class for. Why can't I go back to nursing, do something which is of my background? But also that time, I was like, okay, there are sometimes rumors like, in this sector profession, there is more pay than agriculture sector. That was what the rumors that we had at that time. So I said, let me try to go back. There is a lot of funding in the health sector than the agriculture sector. So that was also something that drove me to go back to the health sector. But I didn't have much challenges like maybe men, maybe being molested by men, nothing like that. But it was just a matter of maybe in the health sector, there is good pay than in the agriculture sector. Yeah, but also I just wanted to do what I was trained for. Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. Last week when we had Ms. Tisungani, there was a question here about sexual harassment in the work environment. There was a lady who just wanted to know how do you deal with that in the workspace, especially as you're pursuing your career. So I wanted you to talk about that. The other thing that I wanted to ask you specifically is that I know that one way that we as women, we can really empower ourselves financially is desiring to reach the top, to be in a certain position, like in a leadership position. What would you say has that journey been for you? What I know that you studied your master's, you did strategic management. I think if it's not strategic leadership, one of those, right? And so, yeah, and so I want you to let us know, to say, how does that look like? What would you advise or recommend if someone is desiring to say, we're just starting off in their career and they would like to one day become a leader like yourself? What can they do?
Okay, thank you so much. On sexual harassment, what we are doing as an organization is just to ensure that our mentor mothers as well as staff, they really know what sexual harassment is. We are fortunate enough that we receive funding from UNICEF also, who takes us through that component on sexual harassment, so that each one of us should know whether you are being sexually harassed in whenever you are at a workplace. And I remember there was a time, it's not now, maybe it was 5 years ago, because I joined Mothers to Mothers in 2017. I think it was in 2019 when we had a case which, because the mentor mother knew her rights, she had to come out, and the case was in court. It was about herself as well as it was the project manager at some point, yes. So providing information to the people whom you are working with is very vital. People should know, they should choose not to report. So whatever, or if we have got also an anonymous email whereby somebody can report and say, okay, I'm being harassed, and we follow it up to see whether there is truth in that matter or there is no truth. So sexual harassment is really there, and people should know what it is, and they should also have the reporting mechanism, and we should be providing feedback, because the other challenge is, and I know that it's a lot in the communities, whereby we do a lot of sensitization of sexual harassment, but if people, they report, we don't give feedback to them to say, okay, this is the channel that you have to go to for you to receive help or to receive support. So sensitize the people, provide once you provide the information, provide the feedback mechanism for people to see that they have really been helped. So on how do one come to be on top? It's not an easy journey. You know, in everything, whenever you want, determination is something that we really need to have in order to succeed. There are a lot of people that will want to pull you down, especially whenever your top manager or the line manager is a man. I would tell you that for me to go into strategic management, it was the line manager who told me that, Tendai, can you go for strategic management masters? Because that time I really wanted to go for public health. I don't know what made him to tell me that I should go for that strategic management. I, as a nurse, there was a time when I was a project manager in one of the, as I've said, that I was everything at some point when people were retrenched. So maybe he felt like I really needed these skills of strategic management. Then what I would say, that if you want to come to the top, one should listen to the advice that other people, people around you, they also see your strengths and your weaknesses. So this project manager, the line manager, the country director said, Tendai, can you join this strategic management course? Because he was also doing the strategic management. He said, after me, can you go for this? He was a good man, because he never thought that maybe I'm going to take his seat, because it was like both of us, the country director, that time I was the technical advisor for gender nutrition, going for the same course, said, after me, can you now also enroll for the same course? So I listened to him. And for your own information, for me to join Mothers to Mothers, that time when I was being interviewed, I learned later that the one whom I was competing with, the one whom we were tying on the interviews, she had masters in public health, I had strategic management. And the country director for that time, they said, we really wanted somebody who has got a strategic management skills. So that's how I ended up here. So listening to the advice, is really important, but also hard work. I usually share to girls this story of mine. That time I was doing the strategic management, I was in Balaka and the school was in Lilongwe. And every week, once a month, I had to travel from Balaka to Lilongwe. And I had to work up to 5 p.m. on Friday. The classes were on Saturday. It meant that I had to start off from Balaga by public transport early in the morning, which I say it's by 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. I have to start off from Balaga. Because by 7:30, I have to be in Lilongwe, and 8 o'clock, I will have to be in class. So I had to make arrangements with the minibus drivers from Zomba, that whenever you're passing Balaka, please pick me up. So I would be calling from 2 a.m. Where are you? They would tell me, oh, we are now at Malosa. I would sleep. Where are you? I'm in Machinga. I would sleep. Then whenever they say, we are in Liwonde, I would wake up from wherever I am. I would take a car to the hospital, Balaka District Hospital. I would leave my car at Balaka District Hospital, and this minibus would pick me up because I couldn't afford to be going by car. And whenever you were entering that minibus, you'd find, these business women, they have got, they're coming from Mangochi with all the fish, You are going for masters. These other people, they haven't even bathed, By 7:30, I have to be in the Lilongwe. Then I'll take a bus to Mim. So those are some determination. I was determined. In fact, because of that, the one who was my junior also said, I'm going to apply for masters. Now he's in Poland. But it was because of, he saw how determined I was. He went for masters and now he's in Poland. So hard work is also another thing for you to be, to ensure that you are going to be on top. The other thing, don't take whatever other people are saying, especially that wants to reduce your morale. When you are a woman and you are in an environment of men and you are trying to improve yourself, men, most of the times, I met some men who said, where is this going to take you to? But because I knew what I really wanted to do, I really wanted this masters. I had to go. And they said, why is this line manager, who was my country director, saying, can you go for this course? Why is he encouraging you to do that? People didn't understand. But I think he saw my strength, said, this person is a health professional, but is able to manage agriculture projects. I think if she has got this skill, she would do better. So those are some of the things that I would say: work hard, be determined, and also people who want to reduce your mind, be with people who are with you, who are going to encourage you, not to discourage you. Those are some of the 3 things that I can say. Thank you.
Awesome. I really, really love that. There's a comment in the chat from Josephine Lombola. She says, wow, this is so impressive. Can you please be having these sessions in schools, mainly with girls in schools, because this news can change someone's mindset? I think so too. I'm voting for that. I'm voting for that.
Yeah, sometimes these girls, they think that everything was smooth. Yeah. When they see you driving cars, you are maybe going outside the country for conferences, they just think, everything was smooth, but they don't know where you're coming from.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. I think especially these days that our generation, we want things so fast and so quick. And so we don't have the patience to nurture talent and to work for things that we want. We just see on social media that people are showcasing their work or doing this and that. They will be like, I want that, but they don't know what it has taken people to reach where they are. So I think this is so encouraging. I have one more question for you before we close, unless if anyone has a question. But I wanted to ask you, because I know that we cannot ignore the fact that you are a woman and you wear so many hats, work, family, children, and then you're pursuing a very successful career, not just an ordinary career woman, but you're a leader. How do you balance those aspects of your life and to maintain, good mental health and to take care of yourself?
Okay, thank you so much, Choco. That's a hard one, but I will try, because I know these mental health issues are something else. Yeah, okay, the first thing is planning. I think whenever you are waking up, you should really know, or maybe at the end of the day, you should be able to reflect on the day, that what did I do and what has remained for me to do. So whenever you are setting up for the day, know what are the things that I'm supposed to accomplish today. There are other things that have got deadlines. there are other things that they don't have deadlines. So you really need to choose which ones you should focus on. Secondly, what I would say is know which things to delegate. There are other times when we really want to do everything on our own. As a manager, you want to do this, want to go to the field, you want to write a report, you want to do, yet there are other people whom you can delegate to, but also you just have to know what are the strengths in my team members. Teamwork is also really important. Know your team members and know who can do what, because also this reduces the pressure on you. At home, you should also ensure that you have got time for your family members. I know there are times when I would just go home and I would just say, I want to sleep. I don't want any disturbances. But you have to find time also to say, okay, today I think this whole day, I have to chat with people. I have to ask, like currently I'm staying with my mom. I have my mom in the house. I've got my children in the house. My husband is in the house. And you have to divide your time. Okay, this time is for my mom, because whenever I'm coming home, she's also looking forward to chat with me. When you're going home, your children are looking forward to chat with you. And your husband is also looking forward to chat with you. You just have to ensure that, you are home at 6. Up to 8, what should I do in order to ensure that all these people have attended to their issues? Because each one of them is asking you, oh, what are we going to eat tomorrow? Yeah, this one is saying, he wants to tell you, okay, I'm not feeling well. I want to go to the hospital tomorrow. And this one, everyone has got her issues. So you just have to divide your time whenever you are home. Okay, maybe this time I have to ensure that I'm with my mom. This time I have to ensure that I'm with my children. This time I have to, but I also have to have time to listen to music. I have time to pray. I have to also create time to read the Bible. Most of those things I do at night, like reading the Bible, praying, it's at night. But when the people are awake, I just have to ensure that I divide my time to ensure that I attend to their issues. And if there are things that I have to attend to them now and then, I have to ensure that I have intervened and things will go on. So delegation, planning, and also ensuring that you are giving time to all the people who are important to you is also the key. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. There's more votes coming in the chat that you have to take these talks to schools and other places to motivate others beyond this conversation, Ms. Tendai. So just for your information, there's one more question in there from your experience, and it comes from Tariro Mafulira. From your experience, how different is leading male-dominated offices as compared to leading female-dominated offices? What would you give in sorry, I can see the other part. What tips would
I
you
can
give
see it.
success?
I can see it.
Yeah, in each group. Yeah.
Yeah, the other question is, what tips would you give in successively leading each group?
Yeah.
Okay. Leading a male-dominated office and leading a female-dominated office is different. As you know also that women have got different roles in the household. Women, we get pregnant. Whenever a child is sick, we are the one who is taking care of the child. Whenever there is a funeral, we women will take a leading role, which is different for men. For men, when a child is sick, it's few men who attend to the child when they are sick, or whenever maybe they don't get pregnant. It's just a paternity leave which is given unto them. So when you are leading a women-dominated office, you have to be very understanding. Much as they are understanding, but also you should ensure that each one of them know their roles. Because it's not on for somebody to just say, today my child is sick, tomorrow my husband, the other day is. So each one of them, much as you're understanding, you're accommodative, you should also ensure that each one, they know that, okay, this is the limit which I can take my off because of family issues. But understanding, because if you're also not an understanding person, much as you are keeping the woman at the workplace, saying you are not going to go even if your child is sick, if somebody is admitted at the hospital, even the performance of that lady, of that woman is not going to be at the maximum. So when you are leading women, you should be mindful at the back of your head that this woman has got different roles, which she has to be also on top in her household, different for men. Leading men, what you have to be cautious of, men, most of the times, they don't want to take women's information or whatever, maybe ideas. But once they are very confident of you, whatever you say, they will take it. You just have to ensure that whenever you are in that organization and you understand that this is a male-dominated organization, just be yourself. Don't at first don't say that I'm a woman, be inferior. No, just be yourself and not pose any inferiority that I'm a woman. If you want to pose that inferiority, do it when you are alone, but don't do it before the men, because once they know that you are inferior on the subject matter that you are supposed to lead on, you are going to be inferior throughout. So just ensure that you are brave whenever you are with them. If you want to cry, cry whilst they are not seeing, because then they will take you that you are inferior. But those are some of the things that, but also when you are leading women, sometimes women, you know, sometimes each one of us, we want to pull down each other. So we just have to ensure that you also put at the back of your mind that, okay, sometimes women, we don't really wish well others. So whenever there are comments that are coming, you should see which angle is it coming from. Is it coming from well-wishing, or is coming from that I should not be motivated, or I should leave whatever I'm supposed to be doing? So those are some of the things that I can mention about leading a male-dominated office and a female-dominated office. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. I don't see any other, no crying in front of the men. Yeah. I don't see any other comment, but I just wanted to say thank you so much, Tendai, for joining us. I know that you're busy woman, and just making time for this session is such a something that we can never take for granted. And so thank you. And I hope that this is not the end. As you can see, people want you to take these conversations beyond this room and share it with other people out there, because I know that there's a lot of women who will benefit, and girls as well, who would benefit from this kind of conversation. So we thank you so much for sharing your time and your wisdom on this. Before I give you time to say your last words, I just wanted to say thank you so much to everyone who came out today to support these conversations. Please share with people. We're going to be sharing it on our YouTube page. Follow us, Weinspire, and follow our social media pages so that you can know when the next session is happening. The other announcement that I want to make is that we are doing all these sessions in preparation for the International Women's Day Conference that is happening in Malawi on March 15 at Area 15 MHub offices. So please feel free to register. It's only 20,000, but we have limited spaces. There's going to be more than what you're hearing today. We want to delve into very important conversations about making money. We are engaging banks and financial institutions and other experts on the issue of money. How do we invest in stock exchange market? How do we access loans from the bank? So it's going to be a really hard conversation, but very important, on how women can elevate themselves beyond just the work environment and to take advantage of the systems that are in place to make more money and to create worth. So I really want you to be there in person. It's going to be amazing. Lunches will be provided, and it's going to be a full day just for 20,000. So please be sure you are registered. At this point, I will give Ms. Tendai the floor again for her final comments, and then we'll close.
Thank you so much, Toko, for facilitating this platform. What I would really want to say is whenever you are empowering a woman, you are empowering a family, you are also empowering the nation. The reason why Mothers to Mothers, we are ensuring that our peer mentors are paid is just for that, to ensure that whatever they are getting is really reaching to the end in their household, which is different for men. It's another topic. It's another topic for another day. But I would really say that if you are women who are leading other organizations, and you are also trying to have these, which we call in quotes, expert clients, be mindful of them. Please have them being paid. They should be paid, not just be giving them stipends. Because stipends, they don't offer any financial security. As such, even the outcomes of their work is not all that impressive. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Tendai, and thank you so much, everyone, for joining. I hope to see you in the next session. Thank you for coming up and coming along. Tell another sister, another person, another man to join us, because these conversations are so important. And I want to emphasize that it's not just a conversation for women. We want men to join in and support these conversations. We want to hear their opinions. We want to hear their comments. We want to hear what they're doing in their different sectors in supporting women empowerment and economic empowerment for women. So I hope to see you next time, and may God bless you. See you soon. Bye.
Thank you. Bye. God bless you.
Bye.
Hi.
Bye.